we're going to be carrying on with our flapper album. So I'll go through and show you what we're going to do tonight. Got myself set up tonight. Cloudy lemonade. Love a little drop of cloudy lemonade. So that's what I thought I'll be drinking tonight. Nothing alcoholic. I need to keep a clear head. Can't believe that this is our penultimate week. What I've decided is that this week we're going to do the inside covers and the outside of the album. We're going to decorate that tonight, and hopefully we'll get the pages on as well and into the album. And then next week, it's an extra little week that I've added on because obviously I wanted to go through and show you all the lovely embellishments and everything that we've got in the Kaleidoscope range. And the plan is for next week is to do what I call finishing touches. So it's putting on all the little extra bits and pieces. So we're just waiting to see. I think, are we almost at 7 o'clock? Almost. So we'll give it another minute or two. But yes, so I thought that's what we'll do tonight. We'll pretty much get the album completed, and then it's just a case of decorating. Oh, excuse me. Now, I just wanted to say actually that the album, the original album that I made, looks quite plain because I've not actually put any embellishments on it. Because really what I wanted to do is wait until I'd got both albums done and then go for it with the rest of the decoration. So this is not how it's going to be when it's complete. We have got all the embellishments and everything to go on it. Looks like we've got somebody who's joined us, so please do say hi and welcome. It will be lovely to see you. Well, I can't see you, but you know what I mean. Sort of put a comment on and say hi would be great. So as far as I'm concerned, it's 7 o'clock. So I think we'll crack on and make a start. So tonight what we're going to focus on is the album inside covers. So we're going to do this one, which is the what I call the circle envelope. Let's just move that over a bit so you can see. Whoops, hang on, I'm just moving all my stuff out of the way. You know what it's like, you try and get prepped for everything and you just got stuff everywhere. So this is the circle one that we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be doing that one, and let's flip it right to the back of the album. So let's swap that over, and we're going to be doing the maze card, as I call it, or the maze at the back. So we've got a little magnetic seat belt here, and then this is the one where the pages open up, and then whoops, and then it opens up, and then it opens up. I don't know if you can see that. Let me move that down a little bit like so. And then that one opens, and then that one opens, so it opens up big. So let me move that around a bit so you can see that. So it's going to, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So it's just flip. Oh, that one comes down as well. There we go. So you flip, flip, flip. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Plus, oops, let's move that up out of the way. Flip that over like so. Put magnet down on that, and then we're going to look at the cover and the spine and obviously the back of the album. So that's what we're going to do. So last week, let's just pop that to one side for a minute. So last week, just as a quick recap, we finished off doing all our corset tag page. We did our picture frame. What else did we do last week? Let's have a little look. Our Let's Twist Again one, and we did our tag it. So that's what we did last week. So I've got all those pages ready, and I've actually put these pages in order of how I want to stick them in the album. So I'm just going to tuck them up there out the way for the minute. So this is what we're going to do. So I think we'll start off with the circle envelope bit first. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just move stuff out the way. So we're going to start on the inside front cover. Now, let's just get my lovely measurements. So this piece of card, pattern card, is 7 3/4 of an inch by 7 3/4. So I'm just going to ink round this, and again, as always, I'm using the black soot distress ink. So just going around with the little dauber just to take away that black, the white core part of the card. That's it, just so that it helps blend in, like so. Okay, right, let's put that to one side, and we're going to glue that in. So as always, you can use the ever faithful bookbinding glue. So I'm just going to put that all over. Hope you can see that. I find with this glue, less is more, if you know what I mean. It does grip really well. Okay, so let's just put that on there. Now, because this is it's not really got any direction to it, the butterflies and that, so I'm just going to pop this in here and just center this so. So I need to get this one in first, because our envelope circle card will actually go on top of that. So let's just make sure we've got that nice and evenly spaced. Actually, it's just going to take that up just a fraction. You do get a little bit of wiggle room with the glue, which is always handy. There we are. I'm just going to tuck that in, make sure that's sort of level at the top. There's nothing worse than looking at a page and finding that it's not level, and that's still slightly out. It's me and my, there we go. Right, okay, I think that will be just about right. So give that a good press down, make sure that's stuck nicely. All right, I'm just going to pop that up the end there, just out of sight. So here we are. So these are the bits for the circle envelope. Oops. Right, so this is going to be inside, so I'm just going to pop that in. These are going to be the bits that I'm going to use for covering. So this particular page is 12 inches by 12 inches, and what I've already pre-done is scored in a 3-inch border all the way round. Okay, so you end up with the bit in the middle, like the square in the middle, which is where this will eventually sit in. That'll need trimming down a bit, because then the circles will come over and cover that. But before we do any of that, I need to cut out these corners. So let's just do that, and we'll cut out the corners. I find big scissors for doing this, because I normally line it up and I can try and get as straight as an edge cut as possible. And we're just going to go along. So this is a bit different from last week. The weather last week was really quite cold, almost to the point that I had my cardigan on, and yet today we've had beautiful sunshine again. You've got to love the British weather, haven't you, really? It really does change from one minute to the next. Right, that's number 2. Right, we go, and we'll just cut on here. You could do this with a crafting knife if you want, but I'm just using the scissors like so. That's number 3. Like I say, always hang on to your bits of scrap, because they come in handy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and the final one, cut down there. There we go. All right, So now we've got those done, I'm just going to, on the bubbles, I'm just going to fold over and give these a little burnish and just turn them round. Just so we've got that there, and then we're going to dig out the compass and work out our measurements so we can cut out our half semicircles. All right, there we go. Right, where's my little compass? Did I put it in here? I do believe I did. Yes, and I've even got a pencil on it. Oh my goodness. I am a bit organised tonight. That don't normally happen. Right, okay, so I'm just going to measure across here because I want to find the centre point. So cutting these out, that is 6 inches, so we're going to come in at 3 inches. So let's just put a little pencil mark so I can see where the point is, and I'm going to do that on all the sides. Here we go, 1, 2, that's it, just a little mark on there. So 3 and the 4th one, there we go, there we are. Right, let's tuck that over on that side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put the point in where I've put the 3-inch dot, and I'm just going to try and work out that as much as I can on that, so that's almost to the edge, and then that will come round and give me an almost clear swivel on that. So right, here goes nothing, and breathe. Right, I'm going to take that round and gently do that. Might find it easy to turn that. Doesn't quite come to the edge, but that's fine. But looking at that, that's slightly out, so I just need to bring that over just a little bit more and get a rough idea, so it gives me a rough guide as to where I'm going to cut out along. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the other 4 sides. It's quite, just comes, that's it, just give that, so it just gives it a rough edge. That's 2, and then we're going to do the other sides. Here we are. That's it. Let's try and get this pencil mark round. Three, and the final one, here we are. Right, that's almost gone. Let's come back a fraction. There we go. Okay, so there's my pencil marks on. So I'm just going to take a smaller pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut round. Now obviously these haven't quite come down to the end, so what I'm to the edge of this, because of the depth of the page bit. So I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to find it easier just to come in at an angle on here and then come round, and as I come round this bit here, I'm just going to cut that to the corner, so it's not quite going into where the pencil line comes. I'm just cutting it into the corner, so that will give that a better finish. And just going to come around and do the same on this one, and I'm just going to cut that to the corner. All right, so although the pencil mark comes round and it comes in just a little bit, I just want to make sure that I've got it coming to the edge, and I'm going to do the same on the next couple. So there we go. Let's just take that bit off, come back round the other side. Like so. That's it, and then just snip that off. So that's 2 sides done. And then we'll just do the next 2 exactly the same. So I'm using that pencil mark as a guide. I'll just take that to the corner. Oh, excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat tonight. Oh, last week we had a really annoying fly. And you know what? That blooming fly hung around all the next day. Do you think I could get rid of it? Wasn't having any of it. Obviously decided it liked it here in my craft studio. So, right, okay, and cut that, trim that off down on that one. And then just going to come round like so. Right, that just needs a little bit of a trim on that edge there, just to get that curve a little bit better. All right, okay. I don't know about you, I'm not great at cutting circles, but it is what it is. And as my grandmother would say, it's rough, but it's ready, lady, is what he would say. Right, I'm just going to get my rubber out. I'm just going to take off those pencil marks. Oh, I see we've got Lily back with us. Thank you for joining us, Lily. Tonight we are, just to give you a recap, we are making the album cover. We're doing all the bits that go on the inside. So this is the circle envelope, which is going to go on the inside front cover. So we've just cut this out. So let's just get rid of the pencil marks, like so. I'm just going to take that round like that. Right, okay, so that's it. Get rid of all the rubbery bits. Right, so that's that bit done. Okay, now while we've still got the compass out, we need to cut our 2 circles that are going to come on the outside. Okay, so you can see there that just folds nicely. I'm just going to give that a nice big sharp burnish with our burnish. So we want to cut out the circles, so with the depth on that, so I've got some pink, really shocking pink here, which is going to match in with the pink on the butterflies. Okay, and then I've got some peach as well that's going to do that. So I just want to check that I haven't moved this compass too much. Right, that's pretty much. Now the thing is that when I come to do this, I want to bring it in a little bit because I want a bit of the black edge showing. So I want the circle slightly smaller. So I'm just going to bring that pencil in just a fraction, just so that when I cut out the circle, it's going to give me a black edge. All right, so here we go. Sort of reminds me of school, you know, playing around with compasses and stuff. Right, is that going to be, just trying to get this on the page so I don't waste too much card. I'll give it a little twist. Right, that's one circle. You probably can't quite see it on the pink. Right, let's do the other one. Now this is the tricky bit because I've only got this bit of peach left, so I want to make sure. Oh yes, that's just going to make it. Right, that's okay. So let's take that up just a little bit. Here we are. I'm just gonna Oh, there we go. Oh, that was pretty close. I didn't think we were going to do it then, but we did. So that's all good. Right, so here we go. Now I've got to cut out the peach and the pink circles. So obviously if you've got dies that are the same size as the circles needed, then use a die cut and cut it out using a die cutting machine. But I wanted to show you that if you didn't have any of that sort of equipment to hand, that you could do it the old-fashioned way and do it with a compass. So I know that my circles aren't going to be perfectly round, but you get the idea. Okay, so just gonna take that round. Okay, just trim off that bit, not quite there on that line. Okay, that will do. Right, let's pop that card to one side because we'll need all the trimmings for later. Just going to rub off the pencil marks like so. That's sped up. Okay, right, and then we're going to do exactly the same on the pink one. I'm just going to trim. Now I can see the line a lot clearer on here, although I'll be honest, the light shining on it's making it a little awkward, but it should be okay. I'll just take this all the way around. Now obviously you can take your time when you're doing this. I appreciate we've got lots to get through tonight, so I am probably not spending as much time on this as I should, but hopefully right, and hopefully if I've cut them right, they should be near enough the same size, give or take a little bit. Okay, all right, like I said, I'm no good at cutting circles, but it will do. Right, okay, so this is going to be the inside. Take the little tab off. So I'm going to just measure the inside square because I need to trim this bit down. So inside that 6 inches, so I'm going to come in at 5 3/4. So it's just measure 5 3/4, and I'm just going to trim off some of this white here. Just make sure that that is just, it doesn't look quite straight, but I think that's because of the paper. May not. Well, I've cut this before. Let's just get that squared in. Right, okay, then I'm going to cut that. And then we're going to do 5 3/4 because obviously it's a square on the inside, so we know that the measurements are going to be right. And I've squared that, so let's just trim that down. Like so. Here we are. Right, let's just test it for size. Yeah, that looks lovely, but I'll have the butterflies going that way. And I'm just going to ink round the edge again, like I did on the others. So let's just go round like this. So again, it just covers up the core bit and just helps it blend in to the black background. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick that in first, and then that gives us something to look at when we're sorting out the circles on the top. So I get my lovely book binding glue. As you can see here, look, I've even used the cover of the pack of the 49er Market kaleidoscope paper. So I use every little bit of this. And if you remember me saying that I set myself a challenge to make 2 of these albums out of a set of the 49 and Market Kaleidoscope pattern papers, and also the solids, as well as the 6x8 pack as well. So I have to be a little bit box clever. Okay, so we're just gluing that in. There we are, lovely jubbly. That's centered in nicely, and that also gives me the direction of where I want that to go. Right, okay, moment of truth, people. I'm going to check now to see how badly I've cut these circles, to see whether or not they are actually going to fit. Otherwise, oh, do you know what? Do you know what? That is not bad. That is not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. Now, the thing is that I'm going to cut these in half, but I also want a bit of black coming along the bottom, so I'll probably trim off a little bit. So let's just, there's my big ruler. Here we are. So this is about, measurement of this is, where are we? About 5.5. So 5.5. So we want about a 2 2.25 inch coming across, or thereabouts. 2 3/4. Where are we? Okay. Does that look about half? I think it does. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to be a devil and I'm going for it. Oh, that's it. Too late now. I've done it. Right. Okay. So let's pop that on there. And actually that doesn't fit too badly. And you can see I've got a little bit of the black at the bottom, but I could probably trim off a little bit of that. Let's just check the other half of the circle. Yeah, and they could probably just both do with a little bit taken off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off about 1/8 of an inch coming off that bottom there. So like so. So it gives me the black edge on there as well. And looking at here, it identifies where I've got some high points of my circles, so I can just nip that off like that. So that would be that one on that side, and then we'll just test the one on the other side. Let's tuck that in there for a minute. There we go. Okay, so right, we just got to take a little bit off of this, about, like I said, about 1/8 of an inch to come off. Take that off like so. Oh, there we are. Right, 1, 2, and pop that in there. I'm just going to sit that in there just to see how that sits. It's not too bad. Might need a little bit of trimming on the black bit on the inside, but overall that's not too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go round and ink like I've done before, just so we can blend those in, and then we're going to repeat exactly the same on the peach one. So I'm just going to zoom round with this like so. That's it. And that one on there, let's pop that to one side. So let's do the peach again. So about 2 and okay, let's do that centre for that. Right, so now we're coming up this way, so I can see roughly. Right, I'm going to take another inch, 1/8 of an inch off of that, just so I get a bit of the black showing. to get the border. There we are. Let's pop that one in like so. And then we're going to do the same on the other one. Let's just check this other one. That'll probably need. Okay, and honest to goodness, this is probably one of the trickiest bits that we have to do in the album. But once it's done, it will look great. Right, okay, and now let's ink round our peach. Now the one thing I've not talked about, which I'll probably go through next week, is about doing what I call finishing touches. Some of my projects I do a lot of faux stitching because I think it just lifts the papers, it just gives it an added dimension to it. But I've not done any of that with any of this album, so might have a little look at that properly next week and see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck that in. I can see how that looks. That's not too bad. Okay, so the idea is to get the line at the bottom lined up, and the same on the other side. And if I need to come in and trim down some of this black, I can do. But looking at the depth on that one to the depth of this one, roughly, it's not too bad. In fact, I could probably take a little bit more off of this edge of this one. So it's just worth just eyeing it up and just trying it and just see what it looks like. Just going to take another slither off. And because I've inked it, I'm just going to go back along and... Right. So let's try that again. That's probably going to fit a lot better. Yep. And this side. Right, so, okay, so let's get these glued down. Which way I'm going to do this? So, am I going to have the pink at the top coming down? I think so. I think the pink will that come up the bottom, that one. Okay, and then this one coming down like so. All right, okay, so let's get some glue on here, get these glued on, and then we're going to get this fixed to our album cover. Okay. Right. Let's just line that up. Like I said, I'm making sure that the bottom edge is nice and straight. Okay. Because these bits will be tucked in, so you won't get to see these so much. So right, I'm gonna fold this other one over. A bit more glue on there. Let's just push that down. There we go. Right, and this one opposite. And again, just lining that bottom edge like so. There we are, so that's the two peach ones in. Okay, and now we're going to turn around and we're going to come and do the pink ones. Now making sure my butterflies are up the right way for what I want. Not that it makes any difference with this particular paper for the minute until we actually put it onto the album cover. Okay. Right, so I stuck that on, and then the final one is going to come in on this side. Here we go. a little bit of glue along here. And then we're going to pop this one on. Okay. All right. And there we have it. So I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. And while that's drying, what I want to do is consider what I'm going to put in on the inside. So I'm hoping I've got enough. I should have enough of the pink and the peach, because I'll probably do like half circles just to come in on the inside, just to sort of finish that off. Or I might even be able to get enough out of the pink, but I'd have to have a little play with that. But that's probably what I'm going to do on the inside, is just cover that. Okay, so now we've got that fixed. Let's see if it works. Oops, that's a Mickey just trying to join us. You can get down, cat. Grabbed him just in time. Right, okay, so then we'll just tuck that in. So there we are. So there is our circle envelope. Okay, so now what we need to do is attach this onto here. Okay, and so we need to be able to center that. Now what I would normally do is I'm going to just put some glue on it, but because it's a cover and I want to make sure that it's secure enough, I'm going to stick a bit of the red liner tape on here. So I'm using the 12mm tape. That's the thickness. I'm just putting a couple of strands on like so. And here we are, and then we're just going to put another one on there. It's just to give it some extra stability. I'm just going to pop another one. Let's move that up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And just tuck another one in the middle there. And another one there. Okay. Right. So where's me Bernie? There's me Bernie Burnish. Now, before you stick this on, okay, just double check that you're happy with how your circles go. So I'm looking at these and I'm thinking that I could probably do with a little bit of a trim on this one, because that looks just a little bit pointy. Just take that point off, because once you've stuck it down, it will make it's not as easy to do once it's done. So just getting a rough, just looking at that and seeing how it goes. Okay, that one's probably a little bit high on there. All right, so we'll work out the way that the butterflies are going. So I'm happy with those. Right, let's tuck those back in for a minute, like that. That's what I love about this. It's just something different, isn't it? And that's what you need, something a little bit different. Right, I'm just going to have a slurp of my lemonade. Right, okay, so we need to be able to centre this properly. Okay, so I'm just going to come in from where the patterned paper is, about 3/4 of an inch. So that's not too bad. Let's see if it's about the same actually. Coming in 3/4 of an inch from the top. See whether that is. That's going to be more. That's almost an inch. So we might need to do 7/8. And I'm just using the paper line, not the album cover, for my guide. So that's 7. So that looks about right. And then if I bring this along here, then I can work out where the center point is. So if that was 7, the paper's originally 7 3/4. So if I move that along, I can work out roughly, I think I've got to come in about 7/8 of an inch as well, just so I know that I've got that in place. So that's where it needs to go. So I'm not going to move that, she says, but what have I done with my pokey tool. Right, I'm just going to take the glue off. Where did I put my other pokey tool? I had it here somewhere. You know, it's like you tidy up. What did I do with it? It's probably staring right at me, isn't it? Let's have a little look. What did I do with it? Is it falling on the floor? All right, okay, we're going in with nails then. Hopefully these will work. Right, so I'm just taking off the red liner tape. 1, 2. Here we go, number 3. Number 4. And number 5. All right, okay, and then I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this as well, because just so it gives me a little bit of wiggle. Put a little bit of glue on the liner tape and a little bit around the edges, like so. Okay, make sure I've got plenty of glue in on the corners. Okay, all right. So that's our glue gone in. Right, it's going to flip this. I'm just having a little sneak peek, make sure I've got my butterflies the right way. That's it. Because once this is stuck down, that's it. There's no going back. Okay, so I was coming in at 3/4. What's this? 7/8. 7/8, and I'm just gonna drop that down. Okay, and breathe. Right, okay, we've done it, and that's gone in, and that is secure on there because we've got the red liner tape. We've got a nice border going around the outside. Now you could, if you wanted to, have fussy cut out the square in the middle, but you know what, life is too short. But you could have done if you wanted. So that is our circle in our, well, our circle envelope in our front album cover. Okay, so there's the album cover, and there's the front bit. Okay, lovely. Right, moving on then. We're going to be looking at our back cover now. So let me just go and grab the bits for that. So we're moving along swimmingly. Okay, so now this one has got lots of different measurements, okay? So I'm going to take you through each of these. All right, let me just pop that up there out of the way for the minute so that you know exactly what you've got. I'll use my little clips again. I love those little clips. That's going to be my little belly band, or my seat belt rather. This is the bit that's going to go on the front cover, so I'm just going to pop that over there. And then we're going to go down all these measurements, and I'm going to need my scoreboard. Let's just grab the scoreboard. Okay. Like so, because we're going to need that. Oh, so that's one I had found it. It was on the other side of my little pokey tool. Right, okay, so for this, what we're going to need is, let's get my ruler so we can just double check as we go along. This is 7.5 by 7.5. Now, this particular sheet is going to be the one that will be stuck down onto the back board bit. So I'm just going to leave that there for the minute, along with the paper. Then we come down all the different sizes of the pages. So this is the first page. Okay, now this, let's just move those out of the way. So let's do this as we go. All right, so page 1. Okay, this should be 8 1/4. So you can see it's just hanging over the edge of my 8. Okay, by 7.5. Now, on my typing, I've got here 7 inches, so I'm just going to double check that. Let's get these. Always good to double check because this is the page that I'm going to be making. So have I got that as 7 or 7.5? Did I cut that wrong? Because I put down 7. Right, let's just double check. I was right. 7.5 by 7.5 plus the extra bit that's going round. Okay, all right, so I need to adjust that on my sheet, so that should be 7.5. So if you have got the print offs instruction sheets, page 1 should be 8.25 inch by 7.5 inch. Okay, this is why we double check everything. All right, so what we're going to do is score on the 8.25 inch side. We're going to score a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 inch. So if you can see, that's going to give us the little gusset bit that comes up and round the album. Okay, so that's that page. Right, our next one should be page 2, should be 8 by 7. So let's have a little look. That's 8 inches by, again, I've got that 7.5. Ah, okay. Sorry about this, guys, but I'm just going to double check because, you know, it's not until you start to put these things together. So that's the front page. So this is this page that we're talking at. Okay, so that should be, that's right that way, and then you've got the 1/2 inch going around the other side. Okay, so that should be 8 inch by 7.5 inches on there as well. So my apologies. So that should be 7.5 inch. And I think I've got it right on the others because it looks like they're all 1/2 inches. Okay, so on here, 8 inch side, side all the way along. So we're just going to come down and do the 1/2 inch because that's going to be the fold bit. Okay. Next one, our page 3 should be 7 inches by 6.5. Okay. So this should be 7 inch side, and again we're going to come down by the 1/2 inch. So we're scoring that one. It's a good job with double checking everything. Right, this one, page 4, should be 6 inches by 5.5, and we score on the 6 inch side 1/2 inch, like so. And then page 5 should be 5 inches by 4.5 inches. So we score on the 5 inch side again, we're scoring by 1/2 inch. And then page 6, which is a little dinky one, is 3.5 by 4 inches, and we are scoring the 1/2 inch down like so. Okay, that's all our scoring done. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish, fold these over and burnish, and on the folded side is where we're going to add the red liner tape. Let's just fold and do these. 1, 2, get the pages in the right order. 3. There's the 4th one, and then I'll just put these to one side. There we go. And then this one we've got the 2, so we're going to fold the first one over, and then we're going to fold over the other one, so it gives us a little bit of a gusset, not a huge amount, but if you can see that, it gives us just a little bit of a gusset on there. Right, okay, so let's just move everything out of the way. Get our red liner tape to hand. Okay, put our, oh yes, and our little belly band. I didn't score you either, so let's get you scored. So the belly band, oh, I keep calling it belly band, seat belt, excuse me, is 3 inches by 1.5 inches, and we score on the 3 inch side. You're going to score a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 of an inch, and we're just going to fold those as well, so you've got that on that side. Okay, right, let's move over then. Let's see what we've got. So this is the page we're working on the back of the album. So the idea is that these are going to glue onto the back of this 7.5 inch square. Okay, we're going to fit those on there, and we're going to fit that one on the back there as well. So I need to put red liner tape on here. So let's just get the red liner tape. Oops, let's hold it steady. Like so. And a little scissors, there they are. Okay, so that's going to be the one side, and then I need to run red liner tape along this inside edge bit here, because that's the bit that's going to go along. So let's just do that. Okay, now it's easier to do it this way before we attach it to the back of the album. Right, okay, let's just give that a little burnish. Right, okay, so let's just move that to one side for a minute. Right, so our 7.5 by 7.5. This is our first one. So the idea is that this will, where the red liner tape is here, this sheet here will just come in over that and glue onto that red liner tape, which then creates that flap going over. All right, so let's take, I've got my pokey tool. Right, I'm going to do a half on here, so let's just fold that so I can get that lined up. Oops, everything getting in the way. Right, I'm just trying to move this so you guys can see clearly. So where that fold is, that's going to come in, that line's in on the bottom, that's going to line up on the top. So you've still got that little bit of gusset coming along. That line's in. I'm going to take that out and glue that down. Okay, so there we are. That is the little gusset pocket that comes up and over the edge. Okay, now turning that over, so there's the flap bit there. So just turning this over, we're now going to tuck this one in under this side. Okay, so just need to center that. So let's just see how we're doing. So if I come down 3 inches on that side for a minute, let's just take that up and just see if that's 3 inches on that side. Yep, so that's my guide, 3 inches. Okay, I'm just going to take this red liner tape off. There we are. Oops, it does like to stick, that stuff. Right, and I'm just going to slide that along and make sure that that is straight. That's it. I'm going to butt that up against there, bring that edge down, and there we are. And there's the little seat belt that's going to hold on the magnet on the other side. Okay, so now that will come over like so, and so that gives you that little gap in the middle. Okay, so we need to put a magnet on, because obviously this is going to be the page front that is going to sit on there, so I need to put the magnet on. I don't think I inked around this, so let's just ink this bit. I thought I'd inked all my papers, but obviously not. Now, I like this particular sheet of paper. It's just something very pretty about it. It's got the lovely little butterfly tucked in there as well. Okay, so this is what's going to stick on there, and then obviously that will come over like so. And obviously it's got writing on it, so I need to make sure it's the right way round. Right. What you can't see, everybody, is that I have a cat right underneath my feet at the moment, wanting to be in the centre of attention. But I'm chatting to you guys and not to him, and yeah, he's not like that. Now, right, so magnets. So always tricky. Oh, seagulls are making a lot of noise tonight. Oh, there's one. And where's the other magnet? 2. Okay. So let's just see which way these go round. That's fine. Right, okay. Okay, so we'll put the plus on there. So this has got, although it's got a bit of sticky stuff on it, it's not the greatest of glue stickiness, as it were. So I'm just going to, she says that and it sticks to her fingers. Right, let's put a little dollop of glue. Didn't quite want it to do that. It's come off. There we go. Right. Okay, so I'm going to stick that like so. And just to hold that in position, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on that, bearing in mind that I will be covering this with cards. So I want to make sure that that's not going to interfere with the edging of it. So let's just put that on there. Now the next one is, now I saw this trick the other on somebody else's video where she put another bit of tape, but she put it upside down. She dropped the magnet on there like so on the tape. Let me just move that. So she had it centered like that. Right, let's take that off like that. So she had the 2 bits of tape together, which I thought was a really good idea. So let's put a dollop of glue on there. So the idea is, hopefully, fingers crossed it works, that when that folds over, and that's going to go into place, that the tape should hold it down. Look at that! How cool is that? Do you know what? The amount of time I struggle trying to get magnets on straight. Actually, let's move that. I'm being a bit pedantic now. I'm just gonna move that up just a fraction, but it worked. It did work, honest guys, it did. It's just that I noticed that the belly band was coming over a bit wonky. That's better. Okay, and that actually worked. How cool is that? Right, let's take that off then. Now we've got that stuck down, we can put the front cover on, and that's going to cover that bit. So let's get that glued on. I can't believe that worked. How cool is that? Something so simple. And I'm always getting a mess with me magnets. You see, you learn something new every day, don't you? Something a little bit different. And we're just going to zoom, 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 zoom. Nice bit of glue on there. Okay, we're going to flip this. Right, making sure I've got it the right way with the lettering and everything. And I've got it centered. So just to open it up so I can see. A little bit of wiggle. A little bit of wiggle room on there, just to straighten her up a bit. There we go. And that is now ready to go into the album. So it's much easier to do it like this first and then attach it to the album, rather than trying to do it in the album when you're twisting and turning it around and that. So what I'm going to do again, like I did for this one, for the circle one, I'm going to put some red liner tape across and then a bit of glue, and then we'll get this stuck in place. Just going to put a couple of bits across. Although this is not necessarily holding a lot of weight, I just want to make sure that it goes down and it stays down. Probably going to regret that now that I've said that. Okay, and put a little bit in the middle, that one, and a little bit in the middle there. Okay, right, so that's ready. Now, before I put that down, I have on my other, did I corner around my seat belts? I don't think I did. No, I think I'm all right on that one. Okay, so this is our page. Let's get these off, and then we'll put a bit of glue on, and then we'll get it stuck into place like so. And then we have the fun bit then when we start creating the maze. Right, 3, number 4, and number 5. There we go. Right, in with the glue. Again, a bit of glue on the red liner tape just to help us wiggle it a little bit. It's squeaky glue. Squeaky, squeaky. Right, okay. All right. Now I'm going to have to stand up for this bit because I need to make sure we get it all lined up in place. Okay. So I've got to make sure I'm coming in evenly on all the corners. Come over just a fraction. And down. Okay. Right, let's open this up. And there we are. Okay, and that's gone in beautifully. All right. Next then, we've got our next pages to go in. Now, I suppose in hindsight, I could have tucked this page in underneath there as well. In fact, I don't think that's going to lift up now. No, that's all right. Not to worry. I'll stick it on the outside and then this will be covered anyway. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to put the red liner tape on. Like so. And what I'm going to do is mitre the inside pocket or the inside of the page corner, because what's going to happen is, I don't know if you can see, is where it comes in here, you've got this fold coming down here. All right, so you can see that. And when this goes in, this is going to sit right up against that. And the trouble is that we're going to end up with quite a bit of bulk coming into this corner here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just cut off or mitre this corner so that that reduces the amount of bulk that's going to go in there, because when the next page goes in, they're all going to be folded in on that corner. So with that in mind, this is now going to sit in like so. Okay, and that will line up against that. So let's get this first one in. So I'm going to just do a half peel on this so I can get it centered properly and aligned with that bottom of the page. And if you use the bottom of the 7.5 inch that you had before, you see that lines up nicely with that. That now comes out like so, because they're all meant to tuck inside, so you don't actually see the pages until you open it up. So there we are. So that is page, well, this was our page 1, so this is our page 2 that has gone in. Okay, so now we come to our next one. So let's just get these all out just so we can get them prepped ready. So all of these are going to need red liner tape on them, so let's just do that. Put the red liner tape on. So we've got it prepared ready. So there's one page, this is the next page down. This is such brilliant stuff. We do sell the red liner tape in our store, craftywafty.co.uk. So we sell different thicknesses. I think we do 3mm, 6, 9, 12, and I think we even do something like 25mm as well. And then we've also got like the Elizabeth Craft design, the big wide 4-inch and 6-inch rolls as well. So there's plenty of choice there for your red liner tape and your double-sided tape. Let's just give these a quick burnish. There we go. Right, okay, so the next page. Okay, so this is page number, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, page number 3, just checking. So this one is going to stick. Right, so I just want to show you that it's going to come right up against that hinge there. Okay, so where the hinge is on that one, this is going to come right up against there. Okay, and again, because we don't want too much bulk in that corner, we're going to just mite that corner. Okay, like so. And then I'm just going to, that will just get glued in on that side, and I'm making sure that the top of the page lines up with that fold just on this side, so that when it folds over it works fine. So let's do the tape. Right, I'm taking it all off on that one. Going rogue. Right, okay. So let's just open this up. So that is going to line up with that. That's going to line up with that. That folds in like so. Give it a little burnish just so you get a nice crease down there. Let's just test that. Yeah, that works fine. That still folds up beautifully. Okay, right, so that's that page down now, and that line's nice and flat with that as well, so that's good. It was like I planned it. Okay, right, here we go. The next one is going to come in, so page number 4 is going to go up this way. Now, as you can see, I am starting to stagger these so you get these steps coming down. Okay, it's up to you. I just find that with this particular design that I prefer to have it right in the center. If you wanted to move it up and have it more central, you can, but then you don't get the same effect as what we've had before. And again, because we're coming into that corner, I'm going to just mitre that corner again. Okay, so that will go in there. So I'm just going to have to turn the album round now so I can fix this one in. So let's just lie that nice and flat like so. Okay, make sure that's all okay, and we'll just do this one. Oops, come on tape. Right, okay, and it's coming along, so we're coming into that corner along that edge. That's it, just so I can see that. Give that a little burnish like so. So that now should fold that way, which it does. Just give it a helping hand with the crease just to make sure that it all sits nice and flat. That comes up and that comes up like so. Okay, now we're going to go the next way and then the final way. So this is page number 5. So again, I'm mitering that corner that's on the inside. I'll turn the album round just so it makes it easier to see what I'm doing. I know it's a bit hard to see this black on black, but I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's the page. In fact, what you could do is tuck a bit of white paper under there so you can see where this is going along. All right, so this is now going to come in again to that point, line it up, making sure that is nice and flat. So there we are. So that goes over. There's my Bernie. There's my Bernie. Like so. And then the final page is coming back around the other way. So let's turn this right round. Okay, whoops, pages out the way. And we're coming down this one. So again, I'm just going to mite that corner. Take this tape off. And then that is the maze part done. So I'm just going to tuck that in, line it up with the, like so. Right, so let's give this a good crease now. All right, let's turn it back. Just tuck that under there. Right, so that folds that way, then you get that one going that way. Give it a good burnish, then that comes that way. Give that a good burnish, then it comes this way. Again, give it a good burnish. That comes up like so, and then the final one comes over and down goes the magnet. And that, would you believe it, is our 2 inside covers done. Okay, so as you can see, it once these are done, it just finishes, well, I think it finishes off the inside of the covers. But they're lovely and interactive, and that's what I like. Obviously, once this has been decorated, when you put your photo mats in and the scraps and stuff like that, it's going to look awesome. And that's what we'll probably go through next week, is all about the photo mats and the finishing touches and things like that. But that basically is our inside covers. So what we've got left really is the outside cover, the spine and the tunnel part. Okay, right, I'm just going to have a slurp of drink. All this chit-chatting, very dry mouth this evening. Right, so yes, we're going to do the tunnel part of the card, how can we use the album. So let me just show you the original. So now this particular tunnel here was an actual card, sheet of card, which I was able to desperately, carefully cut it out because I wanted to keep the circles going round as the pattern was. So it sort of gave me a bit of a line to follow and cut out. And that's what I tried to do on the front of this, of the original one that I did. Now, for this one, slightly different because obviously I'm using up bits and pieces, so I've had to be a little bit box clever. with my papers. Okay, so I've partly done this, but I just wanted to show you. Okay, all right, I have to confess my circles aren't brilliant. All right, please don't judge me. Okay, they are not the greatest, but by the time I've decorated the front and all the rest of it, you're not going to see it. All right, so just bear with me. Okay, voila. Because again, I was trying to make it without using dyes and things like that, so you guys can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so for the tunnel cover, okay, you need some construction board. Okay, now I've used, I think this was about 750 microns for it, because it is quite thin. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite a thinnish card, because I didn't want it to be too bulky on the front cover. But I cut 7 by 7 inch and 4 times, so that gives me my 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th layer. Okay, now the circles that I cut out, so out of the center of this one was a 3-inch circle, then that was a 4-inch, 5-inch and 6-inch. Now again, if you've not got dies or anything like that, then you can make your own set of templates, and this is what I did. I cut out of some spare card that I had when I cut out the middle, so I had a 6-inch, 5, 4 and a 3-inch, and I basically just put them in the center of the page and drew round them. Okay, now obviously your compass, yeah, so you can work out your center and you do your 3 inches, your 4, 5 and 6. So that, so that is basically what I did to get the templates, and then I used these to then sit on top of the 7 by 7 inch squares to draw around. Okay, and then because these were cut out, now what you could do, which is a quicker way, is you cut out your 7-inch squares first, find the center point, so you're going to come in like 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches. So if you draw like 3.5 inches each way, it's going to give you a center point, and you can actually use your compass to draw your circle, then cut that out, and then that's already given you your aperture, and then it gives you then your template to cut out your patterned paper that you're going to put on there as well. Okay, so basically that's what I did. All right, now looking at the paper I had, and I don't know if you can see here, I've put D, C, B and A, so I've actually labelled my my layers of the tunnel cards, so that I can distinguish obviously one from the other, but also to know the best way to put them forward, because when you're cutting out your card and everything else, sometimes you find that the circle goes better one way than the other, if that makes sense. Anyway, so that's what I basically did. All right, now I've cut my circle paper out and I've stuck it on there. Now on the back of that, I have got somewhere, she says, and I think I'll put it down somewhere. Oh, there it is the backing card that is going to go where the aperture is going to look through, and I've picked up on that little butterfly there, and I thought that is really lovely, and so I'm going to stick that and glue that on the back. Okay, so this is me using up scraps, so you might find it easier to cut your 7-inch squares again out of your paper if you've got enough paper left, and then do your circle, and then you can place it on. But I've had to piecemeal this a little bit because I'm sort of getting to the very ends of the paper stash that I'd got. So as you can see, I've only been able to cut out small bits. Then that was the E, that or the C rather, that I've put on there, so that will just line up on that one. And then now the B and the A, now this was my front, so I cut this out to go on that front part. but I didn't have a big bit big enough to do this. So basically when I cut this circle out, I had to sort of then try and cut out another circle from that same bit to go in, if you see what I mean. I hope that all makes sense. Well, it made sense to me, but it was the only way I could get the same colour palette in and the same design of paper. So that's what I've done. So the circle that I cut out, this bit here, I then used to create that one. That's why you'll notice that there's only a little edge going around that one as opposed to bigger bits on the others. Plus also I've gone round in black as well, because when it lines on top of one another, I want to make sure that you don't get to see any of the chipboard underneath it, okay, so that your eye's not drawn to it. And the other thing is because my circles weren't brilliantly cut, I wanted to give them a nicer inside finish. So I'll show you what I've done. I've got some, well, you can call it construction tape, or it's tape that the framers use. It is acid free. So basically I just tore a bit off. I'll just show you on this bit. I'm just sort of sticking that half along that edge there, like so. So I just did this in small pieces. I just snipped along because I just wanted a neater finish. I know it's not ideal, it's not a perfect circle, I get that, but you'll get the idea, okay. And then I've literally just folded those bits over, so it gives me a nicer finish on my circle going round rather than a bit raggedy, okay. And then that sits on like so, okay. So I try to sort of cover every eventuality in terms of making sure that my circles were as lined up and as symmetrical. I don't know if that's the right word, but the distance, you know, for each rim was pretty much the same, and that yeah, that you couldn't see any of the construction board underneath it. All right, so the next bit really is to glue these layers together. So we'll start off with our bottom layer first. Now you can see here I started to go around and ink around the edges and along the outside, because when I put it all together I want to have it as a block so you don't see the construction board. So that is one way of doing it, but I am going to use the construction board in a minute. Construction tape to show you what I'm going to do to try and get a neater finish. So I'm just going to go round with the glue. That's it. Obviously I'm not coming right into the circle because that's going to be shown, but just coming around the edge of that. Okay, right, so that was D there. So let's just get this one lined up. And I have gone round in black as well on those inner ones, so that when they're stuck together, so I'll just stick that on, just align that a little bit like so, give that a bit of a press. Okay, I mean obviously if you've got things like nesting dies and stuff like that, they'll be perfect for doing this sort of job, cutting out your circles. But you know, again, I wanted to just show everybody how you can make one of these without using any additional bits of kit. Go back old school. And actually you could, if you didn't have any construction boards, you know what you could use? Cereal packets. Okay, you could use those. Right, this is the next one. This is B, that's going on. So just line that in like so. And again, just making sure that that is stuck down. Let's hold it for a couple of seconds. Oh, that's it. Like so. Okay. And then the final the final circle is going to go on top, but I'm not putting the paper on yet, and I'll explain why in a minute. So this is now going to sit on the top like so. So let's put the glue on this bit actually, and then I can see exactly where that's going now, because we've not got a lot of board left. So just to recap, yeah, if you want to have nicer finish edges, and then go around like I have with the construction tape, because at least then it's nice and smooth to touch then. Right, okay, let's flip this over, and we're just going to pop A into position like so, and line those up. Okay, all right, and we're just going to hold that down for a minute. Oh, okay. Right, so if you haven't got construction tape, then you can go all around your edges, if you haven't done that already, with your Sharpie pen to cover up the construction board, so that looks really, really nice. I know I've got a bit of a gap there, but by the time I've decorated, that's not going to matter too much. We're going to get that done. So I'm literally just going to take the construction tape now. Okay, right. And I'm just going to wrap this around like so. 1, 2. 3. And the 4th side. Let's pull that a little bit. So you can see I'm trying to centre this as I'm going. Right, into the middle of the tape. Right, let's just snip that. Whoops. Okay. Right, and then I'm just going to snip in the corners on one side. Like so. So I can just fold that in. So let's do the other side as I'm going, otherwise I'm going to squeeze them all down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So they come along. So this is now just covering up all of that rough edge construction board. It's giving us a nice clean finish. Okay, let's bring that down. Oh, that's stuck together a little bit. There we go. That's it. Right, just make sure we get a nice finish on that. And then I come around and do the other side. That's it. Just tap those corners round like so, and then the final corner, let's come in and around and down here. Right, I'm just going to trim this bit off the end here like so. Right, this is slightly overlapped. There we go. Okay. All right, so also this helps to keep the board together as well. So even though I've glued it, it will help to keep that together. Okay, I think we are done then. All right, and now all we've got to do is just attach our sticking together on the top here. Okay, like so. Now I have gone round and I've inked all round these as well, and I'm just checking that the lettering is all going the same way. So let's just pop that on so it's all done, which is what we want. A little bit of, and that is pretty much our tunnel section done. Let's just come along, that's it. Make sure we've got plenty of glue, because this is the very front bit, so we want this to be able to stick to everything. So a bit of purple tape out the way. Right, okay. Make sure I've got that the right way round. So when I originally made the first one, I did just black out the edges with a Sharpie. So I thought I would tell you about both ways of doing that, but I think that just finishes it off so much nicer. As I said, then you've got all those edges covered, and then the final bit is we're now going to just stick this on the other side. So I'm going to put some glue on the inside like so. That's it, because we want it to stick. There we go. And we're just going to centre that butterfly with a few of the leaves and that, and then you've got the, that's it, let's lift that up, there we go. All right, oh, get rid of that, a little bit of glue, that other bit of glue will dry on the back there. Okay, and that is the front part of our tunnel, which will sit on the front of our album like so. Okay, so before, I'm going to just leave that to dry and harden, okay, because I don't normally decorate the final cover until right at the very end, once I've got all the pages and stuff in. So I think we've still got plenty of time, so let's put our pages in, and then we can finish off putting the cover on, and then that will probably be us done for this evening. Okay, so I was having a little, let's just move some of this stuff out of the way. So I was having a little look at our album itself, and I was trying to sort of work out the order I was going to put the pages in. So because this has got the pinks and the peaches and stuff like that, I thought the flapper page looked really good against that, so that will go in like so. And then I thought, oh yes, the waterfall, because it picks up a bit on the green, so that will then go on the other side. And because you've got the bit of the green and the blue there, so that sort of contrasts over there, I thought that would then become page number 3, which will tuck in just there. So obviously these we'll glue these in a minute, but I'm just showing you my thought process. This one a little bit random, but it's got a bit of pink in there. You've got a little bit of the green coming across, a little bit of the blue, so that one goes in there, the square dance. Then we've got the envelope one. Now there wasn't really a page that would go really well with that on the other side, so what I decided was to just go random. So I've just gone with the twist. Let's twist again, the pink on there, and then we've got the peach there with the little bit of the blue, which sort of blends in nicely with the double Dutch. And then on the back of that, we've then got the mirror image doors, which sort of close up like so. And then that will be on the last one. But now looking at that, I don't think that goes particularly well with that colour. See, this is why you have to have a little play around with some of these. So if I was to swap out any one of these, I need to make sure, because I've put the red liner tape on, that it's going to go the same way. So the only other one that could go that way is the envelope. Or the picture frame, but I don't think any of them particularly go well with that. So I think, in all honesty, we're probably just going to have to go with it, and it'll just have to be random. Or I could swap it out with the green one. Actually, let's swap it out with that green one, because the green is completely different. At least we haven't got two shades of the same blue together, if you see what I mean. There we go, that one fits in better. Then you've got the pinks, you've got a bit of peach there. There is a little bit of peach in there. So, okay, right, that's what we're going to go with then. So this is what I mean. When you come to designing your albums, that is to think about where you're going to put the pages, the colours that you're using on your album, okay? Just so you know that you're happy with what it looks like at the end. Right, okay, so let's go for the first one then. So this one is the flapper, and on the other side we've got the little corset tag. So I've put some red liner tape on here already, because that is literally just going to, there's the hinge there, and this will literally just glue itself straight onto that. So I just want to bend this page back a bit as well, just so it gives me a bit of flexibility. So now there's no easy way of doing this, you're just going to have to go for it, okay? So I'm just going to take off the red liner tape. I will add a little bit of glue. I don't normally, I just normally go for it, but I'm going to add a little bit of glue on that red liner tape just to give me a little bit of wiggle room, okay? And I'm just literally going to line it up against the hinge so that this bottom edge of this sits flush on the bottom and it lines up flush with the hinge, and then I can just run my finger along that, and hopefully that's now glued down, and it is as simple as that, okay? And then I can see from the other side that is glued on. The glue will dry, so that's fine, but that is stuck now, okay? And that is fairly straight in the album, so that's good. All right, then we're going to come back and do the other side. So that one is going to go on like that. So again, I'm just going to bend that back because I need a little bit of flexibility. Let's take the red liner off, and we're going to put a bit of glue on. Now this is just how easy it is just to put these albums together. Now my plan is, because I've designed quite a few other pages, is to put together a nice library of all the different pages together, so that if you want to make an 8x8 album, you'll know how to do that, because you would have seen how I've done the covers and everything else. But also you can then decide what pages you want to put in, which I think is a real, you know, so depending on the photos and what you want the album for, you can get away with using whatever pages you like. If you've got one in particular that you like, or if you want one just with pockets, you know, then you can effectively design your own album then, once you've got all the tools. That's the whole beauty of this design of album, is that you can put any pages in. And if you've seen the outdoor album that I've made, yeah, you know, again, different pages, we put them in separately so you can see exactly exactly what you're doing. So there are first hinge in. Okay, I'm then going to come and do the back one. So let's just take those other 2 pages out of the way for the minute. Let's do the back, just so it makes it easier, and then we'll do the centre one. Okay, so we're going to put this one in, and that's bending quite nicely. So again, we're going to take off the, oops, come on, that's it. Take off the red liner tape, add a little bit of glue, and then we're going to stick this one down. It's really squeaky when you put the glue on it. It's squeaky glue. Okay, right, here we go. And just going to get that hinge up. So this I'm now lining up, making sure that that is sitting on the bottom, and run that along, and that folds back really nicely. Let's give that a little burnish. That's it, just along like so. And then the final page is going to come in going that way. So again, let's put some more, put this one in. Take the red liner tape off. There we are. Okay, and I'll just run the glue along that. Just to, again, give us a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, and now I'm going to line this up at the bottom so it sits. There's always one that doesn't quite, there you go. There we are, that's sat on there. That's glued in quite nicely. Let's just have a little look. All right, let's give that a little burnish. Okay, so they open up quite nicely together. That's all glued in. Perfect. Give that, run my fingers along there. There we are. Let's just push that in, make sure that's all done. Let's just push that one in on there. Okay, right, and finally the last 2. Can you believe it? And our album is almost made. Right, this one just needs a little bit of bending back on there. So that'll go in like so. And the thing is, you know that if you line up your ends of your pages with your hinges exactly, that they will be completely in line in the album itself. So it's all good. It's all good, she says. Right. Okay. A little bit of glue along there. Here we are. Right. Making sure I'm putting that up the right way. Okay. Right. Tuck that in. That rests up against. That's lined up with that. Run that along. That's it, little burnish going along there. Okay, and then we've just got one more page to go. And then we are almost there, and it's literally just a case of decorating the front and the back and everything. Right, just fold that back a bit. There we go. A little bit of glue. So, all right. Okay, let's hold it that way actually. I can see what we're doing then. Okay. All right, the last one's always, it's not as tricky, but just fiddly. You've got to make sure that you get it level with the others. Okay, I think we are there. All right, run that along. Right, let's hold these two up. Push those together. And there we are. One flapper album done. Well, almost done, but you know what I mean. The basics are all there. Okay, right, and then we're going to fold that up and close that in. So now you can see that we've got all our pages in there, which is looking great. So now we're coming on to the last little bits of the basic decoration, which is the back page, or the back of the cover. So I've already pre-cut these out. So I've just gone with a plain, slightly patterned, sort of like wash on there, or I've got the darker. But I'll just have a little look now at our album cover. Do I go with the dark one? I think I will actually. So let me just ink round these because I haven't done these. Like so. It's my cat. I don't know if you can hear him meowing. Yes, Mickey, I know you're there. I know. He's like, what are you doing, Mum? You should be giving me 150% of your attention. Yeah, I know. I heard you. He's saying hello to everybody. Well, you go and have a little lie down. Right, okay. So we've inked around that. All right. Okay, so now here we go. We're going to put the glue on the back. I know, Mummy's busy, darling. Hello. Well, I'll make some fuss of you. There you go. Mummy's nearly finished, all right? Right, now you stay down there. That's a good boy. That's all he wanted was a bit of attention. I don't know if any of you have pets or what have you. They're like children. Shh. Want your attention 24/7. Right, I'll do little swirlies with the glue. There we go. All right, I'm going to have to stand up for this one so I can make sure I get it lined in as well as I can. Okay, here we go. Right, I'm just going to drop that in. Making sure I've got the same sort of distance going round. Let's have a little look. Let's line that up a little bit. This is what I like about book binding glue, although it does stick really quickly. So a little bit of wiggle room. Right, and breathe. Right, okay, so that's the back cover on. Just give that a little. Try not to push down too hard because I don't want to slide it. Right, okay, then we're going to come up and do the hinge. Not the hinge, the spine rather. Right, okay. So I'll go with some more glue. So you can see I've used the back of the 49er Market card packaging. Waste not, want not, and all that malarkey. Right, okay, now this has got lettering on it, so I need to make sure that I've got it up the right way. So let's just pop that in. Now I've got to try and line it up with the back cover sheet and make sure I get thickness on either end right and the edging the same sort of distance. So I'll just pop that on like so. Right, okay, right, now we'll sit down and have a closer look. Okay, that's not bad at all. And it's pretty much in line with the front as well. Obviously, if you're a bit worried about sort of going ahead and doing it freehand, as it were, you can always sort of mark out a few pencil marks on there so you can make sure that you get it lined up. Okay, right, here we go. The moment of truth now is the tunnel. But that's going to sit here on the front. Okay, now because this is a bit on the thicker side, I'm going to have to glue it down with some red liner tape because I want it to stay. I don't want it to shift or anything. So let's wax some red liner tape, and I'm taking this red liner tape almost to the edge because I want a really solid, sort of gluey point to it, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Gluey point, you know what I mean. Right, okay. I'm going to put this all the way around the edge. Okay. Now, next week, as I was saying, I'm going to do another live, but we're going to be decorating. We're going to do all the finishing touches. So we're going to get all the ephemera and the lovely little fiddly bits and pieces that 49er Market do. So I know I showed you that last week, and obviously we've got these on our store, so pop over to craftywafty.co.uk. Plus, obviously, if you've not downloaded the instructions to make this album, then please feel free to do so. It is free of charge. You just have to sort of Google, when you go onto the website, just put in the search bar Flapper album and it will come up. So it will, you know, and then you can just download that for free. But while you're on the site, just have a little look and pick up any of your other lovely crafty goodies as well. So we're almost done on here. Okay, right. And now we're going to take the tape off and we're going to put some glue on, and hopefully it's going to stick and not go anywhere. So let's take the tape off the middle. So go around the edge. Like so. These are handy little things, these pokey tools. If you haven't got nails to get his red liner tape off, it is a little bit fiddly, but it's good stuff. Okay, right, some glue, oh, squeaky glue. Let's hold that down for a minute. Oh yeah, there it goes, squeaky squeaky. That's it, all the way around the edge, and a little bit down on the glue. So the reason why I'm putting it on the red liner tape, the glue, is so it just gives me a little bit of wiggle room, because that's what we want, a little bit of wiggle room. Right, okay, I think I've glued it now. Do you think I've glued it? I think I've glued it. Right, let's go and get the album coming up. This is another standy up job. Okay, making sure I've got it the right way round. Oh, here we go. Now there's no turning back on this. So once it's gone on, that's it. It's staying. So before I drop it down completely, I'm just going to try and roughly eyeball, make sure I've got it flat. Okay, Deb, breathe. Breathe. Okay, that is fairly I haven't pushed it down yet. I've just got it lying on there just in case I need to. Do you know what? I think that's pretty much it. Right. Okay, I'm now going to flip it over. So I just need some pressure on that just to hold that flat. And I'm literally just going to leave that for a minute. While that is just sitting there, we'll have a little look at the last bit of that. Let me just find our lovely ephemera bits and pieces, which is what we're going to be using for next week to decorate both albums, okay? Because we've got the original album, which obviously I made, but I left it plain because I wanted you to see how to put the pages together, but obviously going to decorate that album along with the other album. But just quickly, just to show you what we've got in the Kaleidoscope 49 Market range. So we've got ephemera bits, we've got acetate, we've got chipboard words, we've got little wishing bubbles and baubles, we've got another chipboard set, and then we've got 2 sets of like laser cut elements. I have already pulled some out that were in one of these, but you know, there are 2 different types in there. So what we can do is just for the next few minutes, I'll just show you the sort of things that we've got in each of these. Let's start off with the smallest one first. Here we are, the bubbles. Okay, wishing bubbles and baubles. So these are sort of got a little raised edge to them. You've got little hearts, tiny little hearts there. You've got some butterflies and birds and dragonflies. You've got some little words here: love you, oh joy, hello, with you, very best, cutie. Other ones like good life, create, so happy. So that's quite a nice little set. You've got some more sort of like little bubble hearts and that there, and little circles. So that's really lovely, and it's what they call epoxy coated stickers. So you literally just peel them off and stick them on. So I'm going to have fun with them next week. Okay, right, we've got chipboard set and we've got chipboard words, so 2 different sets. So let's just have a look inside the chipboard pieces. It does show you on the back here what you get in there, but let's get the packet open and have a proper look. Let's just have a little, I'm going to regret this now I've taken this out. And look, and this is what I mean, in the back of 49 Market, you see the back of their page, you could cut that out and use that as part of your decoration. So, and that's what I have done. So we've got like a little tag there and a little phrase, filled with joy. We've got, oh, the sweet stuff, big blue skies. Oh, we've got some mini ones, look, that were like the front of the album. We've got some little mini ones there. Got some flowers, birds. What else have we got? We've got some tags. Lots of different tags. Oh, is it, look, all different sizes there. Like 3 different sizes there. What else have we got? More tags. Got some more of these little, they always remind me of those things you get, you know, on the front of filing cabinets, don't you, where you get to put in what you want. There must probably a proper name for them. I can't think of it for the minute. What else we got? Oh, we've got a couple of nice frames as well. And we've got lots of little butterflies and words. Yeah, big dream. We've got some blank ones there, so you could probably write your own thing on there that you wanted to put, but butterflies and stuff like that. So that's quite a nice little kit of goodies there in our Kaleidoscope chipboard set. So let's just pop those all back in. Let's try and get them all in, Deb, without losing them all over the floor. Okay, oops, at least these are a little bit thicker to pick up than some of the other bits. Okay, I'll shake them all down. There we go. So this is the bit that I can't wait to do. I've been dying to do this for the last couple of months since I started designing this album using this paper range. I wanted to be able to play with all these little bits. Okay, now this one are chipboard words. So again, on the back it tells you, so you've got playtime, believe, enjoy, best time forever, wonderful, thankful. So there's loads of different on there. And again, if you can see in the background, you've got other paper that you can use, card there. So these are quite a lovely size actually. I don't know if you can see that if I show you my hand. These are quite a nice size. So these are going to look great on some of these pages in there. So you've got these big words, and then you've got these like little banners. And that say, yeah, you're welcome. Oh, you are awesome. Happiest moments. Hanging with the best ever. So there's lots of different little ones there as well. There's a couple of little hearts in here, different sizes. So there's lots of lovely goodies in there. So it's not just words in, you've got a few extra bits in there. So let's just tuck those in like so. Let's just pop that all in. It's a little fiddly bits. Get in now. So why is it always the tiny little bits? There we go. Now what I would suggest is that when you do with any of these, what I should have done was put them on a tray, and then I can have a proper sort out, which I'll probably have with me next week. Right, okay, so they're the chipboard words. This is the acetate assortment. Let's have a little look in here. So maybe not necessarily for this album, but certainly you get some butterflies and things, but these are quite handy if you wanted to make like acetate pockets and stuff like that. I know this flapper album we haven't done that, but you can easily use those, have those as an overlay. You've got quite nice little posters. You've got a bit of a film strip. There's lots of little birds and flowers and stuff. I won't pull them all out because they are a little bit on the flimsy side. That's it, let's tuck that in. Again, you've got other paper in the background that you can use for your albums. And when we do all the photo mats and decoration next week. Okay, then what have we got here? The ephemera bits. Okay, you get 100. Honestly, the value for money with this 49 I get 127 die cut shapes. I'm not going to get these all out because there's just loads of them, but just to pick out a few, you've got tickets, there's little hearts, there's little posters, you've got like little envelopes, there's lots of little tags, there's even like a little bingo card thing there. You've got photo frames, you've got more pockets, you've got more banners, and you've got lots of little hearts and tickets and tags in there as well. And you've even got little file toppers as well. So there's loads and loads of stuff in there. I mean, it's just phenomenal, really, the amount of stuff that you get. And then we've got the 49er market. Where are we? Oh yeah, the laser cut item. So again, on the back here, you can see you've got like lovely French like windows, little bows, and again you've got little hearts and tickets and butterflies and things like that. So there's just so much. I mean, this one I've had out already because I've been pulling out some of the flowers and stuff. Let's just see if I can find you the cover page. I don't think I used it. Let me have a little look. Oh, here we are. I'll just put it in back to front. So yeah, but look, so there we are. That's everything you get in this one. This is the wild flowers. But look, you've got all these beautiful flowers, birds, butterflies, and so forth. But look what you get on the other side. I mean, you could use that as a page. You could cut that out and use that as a decoration bit. But look at the back. You've got tickets. And again, you've got, you know, sort of layered pieces. You know, you've got postage marks. Even a little camera there as well. And these little clips, these remind me of my little black clips, but they're blue. But how cute are they? So there's absolutely loads and loads of stuff. So please do check out our website for all these goodies, because they're just beautiful, and you just get so much stuff. Now this, you've got 66 elements in this pack. This is 116. We knew that was 127. The the acetate, 41 pieces in that pack. 46 pieces in the chipboard words and 53 pieces in the other chipboard set. I mean, it's just amazing. Oh, and the epoxy stickers, 137. So I know you're not going to use all of these on your album, and the colours just blend in beautifully, so they could be used for any other projects afterwards. So I think it's a really good buy. Okay, enough of the sales pitch. Let's have a little look at our album. Oh, I do hope that the cover has stuck down. Let's turn it over. Yes, and look at that. And I have to say that using the black tape, let's just weight that down a little bit more. Using the tape, the construction tape going around the edge has been really nice. So I'm going to see, no, they won't fit. I was going to try and pin them together to hold that down. But that is a pretty good finish on that. Completely different from the original album. I might put a trim round that. I haven't decided yet. It may need it, but we'll faff with that next week. But let's just do a quick comparison of the two albums together and what they look like. Okay, and how they've been laid out differently. So the front cover, so you can see you got the two different, let's move those over so you can see those. So the two different circle envelopes. Okay, two different types of patterned paper on there. Let's slide this over. Oops, I'm catching everything on this side. Now this one, we've got this is just a saloon doors. Now, as obviously I've gone in and photo matted these, which I haven't done on this second album, but we will do that. But that opens up, so this is our flapper. So, and that just picks up nicely with that. Then on this one, I've got, I've put the corset tags in the same place. Okay, so two different types of colours, papers and everything, but it just pops. And as you can see, the difference I've used, let's move them over so you can see. So, because I'm waffling on about it, you can't see anything, can you? Right, there we are. So here I've just gone with the brassy copper coloured sort of brads, whereas here I managed to find in my stash some coloured ones which actually go really nice with the paper range. I followed that all the way through on there, and I've picked coloured ones to go in here. Then we've got this one, we've got the envelope on there, and then we've got the waterfall, so you've got that on there. And then let's just flip those over. So there's the waterfall for that one, the original one. And then we've got the picture frame. So the picture frame here, so I've used the same paisley, but again, I've used different coloured brads and gone with a different colour background. Then we've got the let's twist again. So again, a different. Yeah, this one is the saloon doors. So again, you get to see the different colours, and with the papers and that, just the different effects you get. Now this is the double Dutch here on this one, and actually this is the double Dutch on this one. So two completely different colours swatches I've used. And then we've got this is the accordion, which I still need to put the photo mats and that on because you've still got the magnet there, but you can see different like so. And then this one, the picture frame here. Okay, but that's got a blue background as opposed to the green one that I've done in this one. And then just flip this over. Oops. All right, then we've got the mirror image on that one and mirror image on that one. So two different designs again. You can see those. I'm just moving everything out of the way. So again, different colours, different papers. This is the let's twist again on this one. Again, I've used coloured brads on here, but you've got more of the picture on this on the right hand side, and so that tucks in on there. This one you've got the tag it like so. And then there's the, now that's interesting, look, that's the flapper album, flapper page on that one, which is very similar to the front that I did, but slightly different coloured paper on the blue. So it's quite interesting to see. Right, and then we've got the tag it on this one, which at the moment has got a very plain peach background, as opposed to the patterned one on the other album, but obviously I can decorate that up, that's the plan. Then we've got the square dance. So again, this is it's not been matted yet in terms of all the photos and stuff, but that's that one. And then we've got the accordion on here, and then the last page on here, oh, there's the square dance on the original album, so you can see the two different color swatches again. It's a little bit different. And then the final one on here, completely different for the pocket, for the envelope pocket. Beautiful picture of the birds there. That flips down. And then you've got the two maze cards as well. Obviously, I've still got to do all the little trims and stuff on this second album. But that is it. So I'm going to just turn this back upside down and just leave that now to set overnight, just to put some weight on that. That's the original one. So I think in all honesty, that is probably us done for this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, please do come along next week as well, because next week we'll be doing all the decorating for the albums, using all our lovely ephemera bits and pieces. Okay, but here we are, and I've pretty much done it. 2 albums out of the 49er Market kaleidoscope range, and they just look so different, don't they, in terms of the colour palettes and everything, even though it's the same paper, but the way it's been, you know, I've sort of done the covers and everything, they are completely different. But anyway, thank you again. As I said, thank you for watching. Do pop over to craftywafty.co.uk, check out our store, pick up all your goodies, ready for next week for us to do our decorating and our finishing touches. And that's me done for tonight. So thanks again. Take care. Have a lovely weekend. Speak to you soon. Well, I'll see you soon, hopefully next week. Okay. Bye.